I got some good. Sorry about the microphone. Music coming on. Alright, let's rock and roll. As we begin, lapel mic is on. No other music is on. Alright, good. We got it this time, guys. Picking on my stuff. I need to up the volume. Alright, there we go. Alright, we're gonna give it just a few minutes before I actually go. 5. Go. Give it a second for everything to catch up. Ooh, what a weekend we had. I am so excited to be streaming tonight, painting up some of my Brotherhood of Mutants. I'm hoping to get through 3 models tonight. And we'll do a few models tomorrow night, and we'll give it a break. But we do have some pretty interesting models that I'll be painting tonight, so I'm very excited to be sharing that with you all. Here we go. Don't forget, if you're watching, please give me a like, follow, share, let everybody know that it is going down tonight. It looks like my music is still going. If the background music drops, go ahead and let me know via chat. It would be extremely helpful, since I am just here to have some fun. Woo! Alright, so here we're going to be using some cold black. Don't worry, I have not forgotten to switch my video feed over. Just giving everybody a little bit of time before I actually go live. I'm actually going to do this as we go. I don't waste paint like last time. We're on a fixed income here. Triple tan flesh. I got a brown wash. I need a flesh wash. There it is, flesh wash. Although we'll need brown and shadow for the base. Go team. I don't know, seems pretty cool. Oh, my back. This situated. All right, and it is time to go live. I'm gonna turn this down just a little bit, but that music is banging. but I'm here to talk, and you are here to watch. Ta-da! There we go. All right, welcome everybody to the Big Bad Nerd Dad stream. I am very excited to be here on a Sunday. Normally I stream Mondays. We're trying to stream a few more times a week, more than usual. I happen to have a night where I don't have any obligations. I'm not playing any video games with my friends. I don't have a D&D game to be in or to storytell for. I finished all of my little side projects, and now I get to just sit down and relax. This has been a very healing weekend for me, a very good mental health weekend. I got to sit down all weekend long, paint miniatures, assemble miniatures, relax with my little girls, play some games with them. I was supposed to go out and play Dungeons and Dragons today. Unfortunately, the curse of Dungeons and Dragons hits again, where the table couldn't make because somebody got sick, and so things snowballed from there. And we just, you know what, threw it up in the air. Fine, these things happen. It's horrible. We hope they get better, but it's been a nice, relaxing day, and now I get to share some time with you. So tonight we'll be working on Marvel Crisis Protocol. And as you know, I've been in a citywide league. I live here in Houston, Texas, in the United States. For all my friends south of the border, and for the few friends that I have in the UK. I live in Houston, Texas, and there's been a Marvel Crisis Protocol league going on for like the past 3 months. I've got to play some games against some really good guys in the Houston area. People that I've never met before. People that I never would have gotten to know if it wasn't for Marvel Crisis Protocol, the tabletop miniatures game, which I'm going to show you lots of it in just a second. I just want to talk about it for a little bit because my good friend and life coach, Danny Dean, put together an amazing league where we have tons of prizes that they've given away before the end of the league. Like throughout the rounds, people were getting raffled off gift cards and terrain and models, and I got to play my good friend James several times over the past few weeks, and it's been a blast because you get extra points for playing people that aren't your opponent for the round. So there's different ways to earn points. If you paint models like we'll be doing tonight, or terrain, you just get points for painting, and it's just something to get people into the hobby, to get people excited and into the game, and to have them focus on something that's not just a tournament, which is not what I'm really geared towards. I really like playing casual games and a majority of other things, but it's been a few years since I've actually played something competitively, or have wanted to play something competitively. So I went ahead and I'll be dipping my toes into the competitive scene of Marvel Crisis Protocol because it is a very good, well-made game. It's a lot of fun to play. Very easy rules, very easy movement. I plan on doing a how to play in the next few weeks. I plan on doing a live play with my good friends, the Nerd Bros, playing Marvel Crisis Protocol because it's just a great game for casual and competitive players. People that just want to sit down. It's almost like a board game. You just have to paint your own models and paint your own terrain, and it's one of the best war games that I've ever played. I'm definitely having the most fun with it than I have with any other war game in the past almost 10 years now. I want to say almost 10 years. So let's go ahead and move on to what I'll be painting today, because I'm very excited to finally get some paint on these guys. Over the past few weeks, during the 24-hour stream that I did over Black Friday, the Thanksgiving weekend, I have shown off that I have been working on painting the Brotherhood of Mutants for Marvel Crisis Protocol. And so today we'll be painting the Blob. Very excited to paint him. I've had a few people ask me why I have this giant pill bottle. Yes. So Christopher Lowell over on Facebook just said that this is kind of a throwback to the old comics and cartoons that we used to watch, and every game feels like that. Like I play the Brotherhood of Mutants, and I love using Magneto to move things around and hit people with random objects, and I have the Juggernaut. I painted up the Juggernaut, and it's a lot of fun. And it's just a very neat, very simple, very fun game to play, and I'm thoroughly enjoying it. I've had several people ask me why I use this pill bottle to hold my models, and it's because it's the cheapest solution. I have a little piece of Tiki Tack, it keeps my model on there, right? So instead of holding the model itself while you're trying to paint it, and you're absolutely like super close to it, you might bump it with your finger or something, you have a handle, move around. Yes. So Chris over on Facebook says the pill bottle so that I don't get paint on my hands. And that's absolutely right. It gives you much better control. I can tilt the model back and forth. I'm not just holding it close in my hands. It's so that I can manipulate the model better, so that I can paint it with a lot more ease. Mama Esmeralda, thank you very much for watching via Facebook. We're going to start off real easy on this one. I want to just do some flesh on his fleshy bits. I'm going to be following the studio paint scheme. So here is his character card. The character card lets you know exactly everything that the blob does in the game. And we're just going to do his simple black on yellow paint scheme. I'm going to paint the flesh first. Joe, thank you very much for giving me a like. Paint the flesh first, and then work to the black, work to the yellow. Do a little bit of flesh wash on his meaty bits, because he is a very meaty character. And then finish up the base. I like to paint the bottom of my bases purple, so that I know which models are mine. Chris over on Facebook says that the blob is a Pittsburgh fan. Go Steelers. Alright, my mother Esmeralda over on Facebook says that old people like her have plenty of medicine bottles that I can have. Thank you, Yaya, but this humongous one, I think you did give me this one, actually. I think you did give me this huge pill bottle, and so I am using it effectively, and the girls have their own pill bottles as well. Alright, so first we're going to start off with the flesh. Tuesday night I will be doing an unboxing video and review of the Army Painter starter kit that I was given for Christmas. I can do both in the same video because I've used Army Painter for years, but I really like these Pro Acryl paints more now. You get more for your buck. The paints are filled with pigmentation. They're just super thick. You don't have to paint a ton of coats to get the color that you want out of it. Got great coverage. There's a little glass bead on the inside of it to help you with the shaking and stirring of the paint. It comes in this dropper form, so you're not just pulling it out of a little paint pot. So I just put a few drops, paint from there. Beep, beep, beep. And he's extra fleshy, so I'm just going to put an extra drop of paint for him. We'll get him started. Oop. Waste nothing. And off the top of the bottle. Put it to the side for right now. We're just going to start painting him up. So you'll notice that my blob is sort of like pre-painted. He's already been primed. So the models that when they first come out are just a flat plastic gray, right? They're gray plastic. They're just a gray plastic. I prime them black so that they have a nice base coat, something for other paints to stick to. And then one night I went through on stream and just dry brushed everything. Dry brushed it so that I could see all the details, so I could see all the little cracks and crevices where his muscles are. You can really see how defined this model is just by dry brushing it from black to this is a warm neutral gray. So that's going to help me with highlights. That's going to help me with washing in certain places to give it the effect of rolls or paint. Like I said, this Pro Acryl paint just has great coverage. bumping? Is my music bumping? Yes, it is. I'm going to crank it up just a little bit because I do get quiet when I paint. Too loud? Just let me know, gang. I'm paying attention. Boop. And so this is what I do for fun. This is what I do to decompress. This is what I do to keep my mind steady and calm. Love to paint. I love arts and crafts, so it's right up my alley. My girls, Lulu and Mimi, the nerd brats, they love arts and crafts. They love to sit down and paint models with their papa. So this is something that we can all do together, and I love it. I absolutely love sitting down at the table with them, painting models, talking about what we're going to do with the models. And it's just a nice, happy time with my girls. We're going to continue his fleshy bits. And another thing that I love about the Marvel Crisis Protocol models is that their mold lines on these things were so well done. So well done that you can barely see where I assembled these models. They look like they were just one full model. And they weren't. I had to assemble these models before I start painting them. Had to glue them together. Had to clip them off of a little sprue. And you can barely tell where these mold lines are because of that. They made some fantastic models. A fantastic game, fantastic models. Just proving how well their knowledge is of miniatures and gamers alike. Just trying to be careful around the boot. Bloop. Right in there. Doing good. And again, he's the fleshiest model on my Brotherhood of Mutants. A lot of arm space, a lot of leg space that needs actual flesh. I prefer to not paint flesh. Painting my spider foes is a lot easier. Pretty much everybody was in a costume with the exception of Kingpin and Raven the Hunter. And I've had people ask me, how do I paint on stream like this? Because when they try and paint at home, they have to hold it close to their body. Like they have to hold it here, or they have to hold it at a certain angle, and I'm legitimately holding it off to the side of me in front of the camera. And it's just been, I've been painting like this for This will be my 4th year. This will be my 4th year streaming, and I've gotten used to it. So used to it, in fact, that when somebody told me that I could buy a rig cheap to have it just so that I could put it in front of me right here and then have the camera over my shoulder with great lighting, I was like, I'm gonna have to do a lot of research into that because it sounds too good to be true. But I think that's what I'm going to be doing next, is investing in one of those ring light camera mounted rigs for doing things specifically like this. Because I've seen other streamers do it, and I very much would like that, to have that professional look of over the shoulder, looking right at the model as if I was looking at it. But this is what it's all about. Getting into all the little nooks and crannies. Making everything look as flush, trying to eliminate brush strokes. Which this paint is very, very flowy. It flows real well. I do not get a lot of brush strokes in my paint. When you work with like normal acrylic paint or other cheaper brands of paint, you'll get these striations or lines from painting just from the brush strokes, and that is a no-no. That's why I always say I'm super cheap. My paintbrushes are from Walmart. I get them 50 for $10. This is a little paint tray from Michael's that I've been using for like the past 3 years. I think it was $1. I'm using a pill bottle instead of a model handle to paint my miniatures. You don't need fancy stuff to do this. The only thing that you need are the models and good paints. And the Pro Acryl line from Monument Hobbies are fantastic paints for beginners. They will help with corrections. You don't need a lot of coats, so as long as you paint what you got. I could be using a wet palette to thin the paints down a little bit more and make them even more flowy and blend together better, but I don't have to do that. Ooh, there we go. What was I noticed that Netflix dropped all of the John Wicks on Netflix. Kind of cool. I haven't gotten the chance to see the last one, so I'll probably be doing that here in the next few days. A lot of comedy specials, a lot of cool movies came out. I finished Zom 100, or Bucket List of the Dead, the anime on Netflix. Fantastic. I highly recommend it. It's super funny. It's almost slice of life in a zombie apocalypse. So it's pure and untainted as you're gonna get for a zombie apocalypse movie, at the very least. Right there in his cheek. Get in, as they say, nice and deep like. Get into those crevices. Go. And so the camera takes a little bit away from it, but I can still see shadows and stuff under this first layer of paint. I can still see the recesses and crevices and the beauty of the model. That is all of the extra little bits. So those are just going to be guides for me for painting them later on down the line. Last thing I got to do is paint his hands and his face. Don't need a lot of paint for that. I don't know what that is. Out of here. He's looking pretty good. I don't do fingernails. I don't do windows. That was a Mrs. Doubtfire reference. It's almost like dry brushing the inside of the hand because I have to be so careful not to paint a lot of the other parts, or I want to leave the crevices so that they're shadowed inside the hand. Did very well. Sabrina, thank you very much for liking the stream. Beep boop boop beep. Gonna paint his other hand. Like I said, all this is very easy, very simple. I actually put too much paint down, so wasted paint. Anyway, that's okay. My hope is to finish the blob tonight, which I'm confident I will, and then I have 2 other models that I want to paint tonight that are the exact same character. It's very interesting for me because I don't have any other models like that where it's 2 models to represent the same character. But I will be painting Emma Frost tonight, the White Queen. They stopped calling her that for some reason. But I will be painting Emma Frost tonight. Over his muscly bits a little bit. Alright, and last but not least, the brush. Clear all that old paint out.
Am I alive yet?
Oh, there. If the music stops, y'all let me know. So I'm still trying to figure all this out. Got to paint under his chins. Don't want to touch his suit. I'll be using a different paintbrush when I paint his suit. Give me a little bit better control. I don't want to paint his teeth because his teeth are nice and white. I need to get the back of his neck. His ears though, you guys can see that. Same on this side. Keep on. That'll be good. Fleshy bits are painted. Wait, so I don't click anything. I'm gonna do golden brown for his hair real quick. Again, all the paints that I'll be using tonight, aside from the washes, are Pro Acryl by Monument Hobbies. Oop. Oop, there we go. Pro Acryl Monument Hobbies. They showed up on the scene about 2 years ago. And prior to me using Pro Acryl, I was gung-ho army painter. Love the drop bottle, love the consistency, love the pigmentation. Thought Army Painter was the greatest thing since sliced bread, and they're great. They're still a really good brand of paint. I just prefer these Pro Acryl. You get a lot more paint in comparison to the paint pots of Citadel or Army Painter. I feel like the paint consistency is smoother. Right? The paint flows better when you're trying to paint across your model. The pigmentation of the color itself, so that's how much of the color is actually in the paint itself. Very good, thoroughly enjoy it. Not having to make multiple passes to get the certain color that I want. All the paint that the paint that was on the top of the bottle, probably. I'm just gonna paint his hair. It's golden brown, and then I'm going to go back over it with a brown wash later. I don't need that much paint because I want to paint everything. You see me painting my thumb or painting my hand is to just take off some of the excess paint so I can get it more of a dry, applicable. So I'm trying to leave those dark lines on the inside. Barely paint it. Sort of like a dry brush technique. Give it a little bit more depth. I paint everything. I'm gonna dry a little bit darker. Boop. All right, cool. Actually, looking at his face, I could get a little bit more paint around his lips. Make it look more even. There it goes. It looked like my music stopped for a second. So he's getting a lot of Got quite a few chins. Right around his mouth, there are some dark spots, and I just want to make sure that I paint around those dark spots to give it depth. There we go. I've seen some other people paint him in like this white color scheme, but they make his clothes look extra dingy, like he's been eating junk food and wiping his hands across his suit, and I think it looks so cool. But I do not want to deal with painting white and then painting a mess onto the white, knowing that at any moment it could just go. Alright, so now we have the flesh, we have the regular parts. Just take a look so you guys can see. Right, we're getting pretty close. Next we'll be doing the black, and then the last one I want to do is yellow. It looks like he has just gray wristbands around his arm, so I'm going to leave those there like that. But I will paint the black and yellow everywhere else. So now that we're done with our golden brown pepperacryl, we move into coal black, which isn't like a real true deep black. It's not really a true deep black. It's more of a dark gray, and I like it. Hey Kevin, thanks for watching. I hope you like it. Oh look, Kevin, look, just so you know, it's not just Marvel Crisis Protocol. I've got War Machine 2. I'm painting up my Crucible Guard. I have not forgotten you. And all the cool stuff that you've donated to the stream. I still have my Orcs. Still have my Infinity Ariadna that you gave me. None of that stuff. Anything that's given to me will never just be given away. I will always use what I can. Bloop. Oh yeah. A little bit in here. Be a lot of it. Again, I love Monument Hobbies Pro Aqua line because they give you a lot of paint per container, and the pigmentation is just so good. Alright, let's get to painting this big boy. Yep. Paint his boots. And so his bodysuit and his boot leathers will be black, and all the accents are going to be yellow, just like his studio paint scheme. I'm very excited for the next few weeks. I'll be painting models that aren't mine, that I'm doing for commission on stream. Batman Gotham Chronicles and some other Marvel Crisis Protocol for my good friend Adam, who asked me to paint because he does not want to paint. Alright, first boot done. Minimum. On those dry brush portions, I wanted them to stay a lighter color, so when I paint the yellow, it'll pick up the yellow real well. Real quick. Pick some. We're still doing good. the fronts. Now I'm gonna paint his little boots black. That's a 40-year-old virgin reference. Because that movie was funny. I liked it a lot. So, what I will be doing over the next few weeks is working on my slap chop technique. A few months ago I had painted some Monster Hunter World board game miniatures using the slap chop technique, and it's very fun, very simple, very easy, and it makes the characters pop a lot more. So I'll be using that technique with the speed paints I'll be picking up here in the next week or two after I get done with all these models. Whew. Gotta be very careful around neck, the midsection. What I'm really excited for is all the new releases that are coming out for Marvel Crisis Protocol. Earlier this month, just last week, they released Nightcrawler, they released Bishop, they released Professor X, the Shadow King, also the Iceman and Kitty Pryde. Coming out soon is the Spider Foes, or the rest of the Spider Foes. Right. They've got a box set that's going to include Sandman, Electro, Shocker, and Vulture. So it's like a Sinister Six box, and I am elated to have more Spider Foes, even though I've been playing Brotherhood of Mutants for the past few months. I mean, I went into the league knowing that I was going to be practicing with these Brotherhood models, assembling and painting these Brotherhood models. But when they announced the new Spider Foes box set, I was like, oh, that's going to be so much fun to paint. The Sandman model is beautiful. He's humongous. He comes with his own little bits of terrain slash special unique models that come with him, like a giant fist and a giant like mace. He's got a lot going on with him. I don't like how Magneto has his constructs that he can make and bring into play. My guess is that Sandman will be the same way. Carefully. Paint. Out. So when you're trying not to paint certain areas, the best thing for you to do is start up high and pull the paintbrush with the paint across it. Lighten your load. There we go. Bam. Ooh, I did good there. I did real good. Yeah. Yeah. In there. In between there. Again, pulling it. Pulling the brush. Straight down. When I paint the yellow, I'll be using the finest tip paintbrush I can that I have. Nice. Alright, now time to catch the widest portion of him. The widest portion of him. Oop. I'm gonna go back and dry brush a dark neutral gray over some of his spots to give it a little bit of a highlight. I know it's interesting to hear of a highlight on black, but it's very simple. You just take a dark neutral gray and dry brush, and it'll highlight all of the black by not making it too light. Painting his pants because he is a big old boy. Oh yeah. Paint down his suit line. Alright. Got to know him very well. Paint some here. Paint some. And paint across his belly. Good. Oh, that's coming together really good. Okay. Last place the paint. Getting very personal. Go. And just 2 little spots. On his bottom. Boop, 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 boop. Paint that real quick. Miss a spot under his arm. Careful. Nice. Then 2 spots underneath him. Now, quickly, I need to paint him yellow because right now he looks like a Raiders fan. I think that was pretty good. If I was really lazy, I'd call it done right there. Inutu. But I want him to have the color scheme. Mint. Getting all of that black paint out of this brush. And again, this is why I use cheap brushes. These brushes, 50 for 10 bucks. So that if I think that the brush is frayed too much, if I think that the brush has lost its edge, then I'm just going to throw it away. It's not a $20, $30 brush that I have to replace every 6 to 7 models. I don't have to spend extra time taking care of the brush, washing the brush properly, using special soap and wax to make sure the tip stays fine. I'm just going to chunk it, get it out of here. Going to use the golden yellow by Pro Acryl. Boop. Golden yellow by Pro Acryl. Again, I can't say how much I love these paints. I just used this last night because I painted a ton of terrain. Ton. Oop. That was gonna happen, happened. I think it's time for me to invest in a new tripod, table tripod. Alright, so now we are going to paint yellow. Drop a few oops of paint right there. I'm going to take my finest tipped brush, which is actually going to be a brush that I've been saving for the past 10 years, maybe longer. Can I open it? You know what? This brush is sealed. This brush I got from a swag bag at Clash for a Cure. Clash for a Cure is a local gaming event that raised money for the cancer research. It was professional. It wasn't Susan G. Komen. Actual cancer research, not awareness. All right. It is the finest tipped brush that I have. Saturate it with my dense yellow and paint his lines to the best of my ability. So here we go. First I'm going to start with his boots. I want you to know that I am concentrating so much right now. I just want him to be happy. Want him to be in the paint scheme is intended to be. That picture, I want him to look like his picture. Which before, trying to paint a model exactly to studio scheme or trying to paint the model to just the original, right? When I was painting Venom, when I was painting Mysterio, when I was painting my other models, the thought of trying to emulate the exact character, our beloved heroes, villains, iconic. Scared the life out of me. I didn't think I could do it. And then I tried. And I realized they're a model just like any other model. I just have to paint by numbers. Do whatever they want. And I think that the models have come out fantastic since then. Exactly what I wanted to do. Yep. Happy with that. Hey Alex, thank you for watching. Matt, thanks for giving me a like. I didn't see you pop in. I am painting some models, Alex. You know how it goes. My good friend Alexandria Ogletree over on Facebook saying hey. Again, depending on where you're at, you can always find me on Facebook, Twitch, or Facebook, Twitch, or YouTube. I multi-stream to a lot of different platforms. And pretty soon, once I figure it out, I'll be streaming to TikTok and Instagram. I have the ability. I just need to figure it out. Alright, the bottom of his boot is done. Top of the boot coming in hot. I gotta say, he's coming together really, really well. I was not expecting to paint tonight. I thought I was going to be bogged down with other stuff. But I am so grateful to be able to paint, relax, have some fun. There we go. His boots are finished. I like them. These boots are in fact made for walking. Now we're going to paint belt. Whoa. Camera down. Yeah. Or camera tripod is donezo. Time for a new one. Everybody hold it steady while I paint under his belt. I just saw a spot that I missed with the black, so we're gonna get back in there in a second. We have plenty of black left over. And yellow is a very difficult paint to get coverage on, because I've had trouble with yellow in the past trying to paint it, because the pigmentation is always so thin. There we go. All the way under. Finish up with his shoulders. Very carefully, you can see right there in the back portion of them. And I'm barely applying any pressure. All I'm doing is trying to get some yellow paint onto this very thin shoulder strap. I don't want to get any on the black. I don't want to get any on the flesh. Boom. First line down. A lot of hunching today. Go. Other stripe going. Just barely touching it with the paint. Bloop. I actually think I'm going to paint his wristbands yellow, because I don't want him to have gray wristbands when everything else is black and yellow. Black and yellow, black and yellow, black and yellow, black and yellow. Hey, what? You know what it is. Oops. There we go. That's what I didn't want to do. That's okay. Go back in there later and just cover that up. Accidents happen. Even to the best of us. What I could have done is painted him and then assembled him. But I hate running that risk of the super glue fogging up the paint, or the vapor residue messing up the paint job. I'd rather just assemble it all, even if it's a little bit harder to get to some of the points, and then go at it. Paint, paint. We're about a month and a half from OwlCon, which I'm very excited for. Not a lot of people seem to know about Alcon, so I'm going to just give a little feel about it. I've been going to Alcon for at least 11 years now. It is a fantastic tabletop RPG convention right at Rice University. It's always the last weekend in February. It's filled with wonderful people that I have known for years and years. They've always been very welcoming. They've always been very accommodating. They're constantly looking for people to run games for them, which is the name of the game. Where is it? There it is. Brought backup napkins. Get the excess water off my brushes. Alright, so now I'm going to flesh out the flesh that I messed up over here. I don't need a lot because I didn't actually mess up. That's it. Flesh touched up. While I was painting, I noticed that I could have gotten a little bit closer to the arm over here, so I'm going to try and do that. There we go. Again, a really good lesson to learn technique is to drag the paint. Don't slop it on and paint big thick lines. Just put it a little bit, pull the paint across the surface, and bam, good to go. I'll get rid of the flesh. Get rid of the flesh. Just a little bit, and it's obvious that I didn't hit it because it was so tight. Now that I have this finer detail brush, I can get back in there. So let me get everything. There we go. This model's not done until I say it's done. Booyaka. There we go. Ooh, that looks good. All that paint. And I am going to paint the wristbands yellow because I just don't think it looks good gray. Get back in there. That. Hit the yellow. We got. keep going back and forth because I don't want to put too much paint. Alright. Ooh. There's music. Alright, so with the night is the last night of the league, so I have to get this model painted and ready. And really, Blob was the last of my starting 5 that I wanted to get painted. I wanted Magneto, Toad, Pyro, Blob, Juggernaut, Toad, Blob, Juggernaut, Pyro. Once I finish Blob, be good. And just because I'm finished with the paint doesn't mean I'm done. I still gotta go back with a few washes and give them some highlights. The part under his armpit that is very narrow. I want to get in there. Done. He's done with the paint. We gotta airbrush a little of that dark neutral gray. Of course, I did not pull out, so let's find it. Alright, so dark neutral gray. I don't know when the last time I actually used this was. Flesh wash, shadow wash, brown wash. And so this is, the washes are the only thing that Pro Aquarel doesn't have of, that I know of. Army Painter, I switched from Citadel to Army Painter years ago, simply because of the dropper bottle. I thought that they both acted well. The washes did exactly what they needed to do, but I felt that the dropper bottle was safer and more cost efficient. What I was trying to. Of course, the most important thing to do with your dry brush is to make sure that there's not too much on there. You just barely want to see it. Flesh wash. Don't need a lot because we're just gonna paint into the crevices. Got a crevice here. Crevice. crease here. I'm gonna paint into the crease. Bring out the depth of that flesh. Paint in between his fingers. Paint into his hand. Just adding a little bit of variance of color. Because what you gotta remember is that he's not called the Blob because he's fat. He's called the Blob because he's massive. He's a big, muscly dude. In fact, one of his abilities is called Nothing Can Move the Blob. He's all muscle. Cuckoo. Flesh wash is done. Brown wash, which I'm going to use hair and the base. We don't need a lot. Even though he does have a lot of hair. My new favorite brush because I keep trying to use it. Save the tip. There we go. Put to the side. Find a different brush. Jason, hey, what's going on, brother? Thanks for watching the stream. Painting some Marvel Crisis Protocol. See that golden yellow or golden brown that I had used earlier? Putting the brown wash over it deepens it. It doesn't look as yellow. Actually gonna give him that brunette on the box. Out of the box brunette, nice. And then what I like to do is I will put a little bit of brown wash on the sidewalk. Look how dirty the sidewalk is. In different little spots. A good friend of mine many years ago had told me that when you paint bases, you always want to have a little bit of variance from base to base. So what you'll do is you'll just have 3 different things to make the base different. I like to put a little bit of brown Obviously, you're going to paint the base, add some stuff to it. But I like to add a little bit of different colored washes to the bases. And not make them look generic, uniform. And it's simple, right? I just added brown wash to the base. I'm going to add some shadow wash, which is, it says brown wash, it's a brown tone. These are Army Painter. I know it says D&D on it, but they're actually Army Painter. They came in a neat little set that my mother-in-law gave to me. Dark tone. Nothing fancy. Put a little bit down. Maybe a little too much. Brush it along. Look at his base. They all look generic like that. I just dry brush them. Gotta add a little bit of shadow wash. Get the different places all over it. I'll even mix the different washes. I'll mix the brown wash on the base with the black wash. So that it looks like a dirty, grody, grimy street. They're supposed to be playing on the mean streets of, I mean, it's supposed to be having it out on the mean streets of New York. So I've been to New York. I've seen their streets. They're not that clean. Alright. So blob is done. It is 29:30. So we're gonna do at least one more model. But as with all of my models, before I complete him, finish him, put him to the side, I'm gonna paint the base. To match the theme of my team. So we are the Brotherhood of Mutants. We're gonna do Magneto purple. It's Nito. Alright. So again, just pro ac roll by Monument Hobbies. A couple years ago I was gifted some and I just loved how they flow. I love that there's a little glass bead in the dropper bottle so you can mix it. Pigmentations are great. Oh, we're just gonna put a drop right here. We don't use a lot of purple. For the bases. There it is. Take from the top. And again, this is why we have a model holder, so that I don't have to hold the base. I can just paint around it. This is to give my team cohesiveness, and 2, so that when I'm looking at the models on the field, if I play another Brotherhood of Mutants team, I won't get my models confused with somebody else's. In case somebody else decides to do the studio paint scheme, I can look and say, alright, that base is purple. I painted my base purple. And if I run into somebody else that's had the same idea as me, I'm gonna call him a really smart guy. You're doing a really smart idea. Alright, we're just painting the lip of the base. This Monument Hobby purple. Oh, what's going up? How hard are you, nerd? No, that's UB. Thanks for watching. He's watching via Twitch. Getting me some views. One of these days I can monetize. That's good. All right. So the blob is done. Face is painted. Boots, suit are painted up. From gray and dry brush to complete. Check off the bottom. Hey, thanks. I definitely will. You know what? I'm gonna be. Hey, thanks for helping. I'll be on tomorrow night. I don't normally stream on Sunday nights, but I'm on every Monday night after 7 p.m. Usually about 8. When my girls go down for bed. That way I can stream in peace and not have them running around in the background. Oop, I'm gonna put you right there because I'm proud of you. I want everybody to see. Good job, bud. All right, so it is 9:40. We've been streaming for an hour and a half. Let's paint one more model before we go to bed. And I want to paint. I want to paint Emma Frost. Get Emma Frost on the. Let's get Emma Frost on here. So there's two versions of Emma Frost. I have a normal version and I have a diamond form version. You can tell which one is diamond form because she has like these really hard edges on her. Look up. I can bring it in closer. If you see, look at her back. She has like these really hard edges that I dry brushed over so I can have like a focal point. Here is her Emma Frost. So again, one character, two models. She has her normal version and then her diamond version. We're just gonna paint the normal version tonight because there's a specific bead paint that I want for her diamond form. Make her look extra ethereal almost. I'm going to pick that up in the next week or two. I've got a commission for Gotham City Chronicles. Thank you. I got a commission for Gotham City Chronicles, so once that mission is paid, I'll be able to afford the new speed paints that I would like to get me that look that I'm trying to achieve. And I can actually demonstrate the proper slap chop method for y'all with this speed paint slash contrast paints that I have. Don't forget, if you like me here, you can like me on Facebook, you can like me on Twitch, you can like me on YouTube. I'm on TikTok and I'm on Instagram. I will be streaming to TikTok and Instagram within the next few weeks once I figure out how to put that into my broadcasting system. Okay, so the first thing that I want to do for Emma Frost is she is clothed in white. White can be hard to paint, but I've learned that if you start with not white and dry brush up, it looks phenomenal. So we started black, we dry brushed to get all the we dry brushed with a neutral gray to get all the details out. Next, we're going to paint with an ivory, and then dry brush with a bold white titanium. Actually, I think what I want to do is paint with a mixture of faded ultramarine and the ivory to give it just a little bit of a blue hue. So I'm going to try out 2 drops of Pro Acryl Ivory with 1 drop of faded ultramarine. Two drops of ivory. 1, 2. One drop of. I don't remember the last time when I opened this one was either. All right. Faded marine, ultramarine. 1 drop of faded ultramarine. That's just going to make it very light ultramarine. And all I'm going to do is paint her white bits, everything that should be white. Camera so you can see. No funny business, we make our own colors here. Should come out with a very, very pale, extra pale blue. So that when we dry brush over it with that bold titanium white, it won't just be, it'll have more of a contrast to it. Hey Isaac! Thanks for watching my stream, brother. I greatly appreciate it. I want this brush to paint with. That is a layer brush. With this. Okay. This is a very delicate, thin model, so I have to watch where I'm painting. Take off a little paint. Looks like her belt is silver, so we'll go back and do that belt later. Silver. For now, I'm going to cover it up with this very, very pale blue. She has a little bit of skin showing, so I'm not excited about painting flesh again, but it is what it is. But Emma Frost is dope. She's a neat character that I'm still trying to figure out. Because she has her 2 forms. And when you're in one form, you can't just change back to the other form. And certain conditions have to be met to go back and forth between the forms. And I just haven't had a lot of opportunities to play her. But me and the Nerd Bros will be playing next Wednesday. And I'm going to bring her. I'm going to try her out. We're playing a 2v2 match. But she won't be alone. She won't have to worry about holding everything her own. I don't know who my opponents is gonna be. Like we're gonna do everything random when we get there, so that there's no building beforehand, prepping for people. We've played each other so many times that we know what to do, who to bring. So it'll be fun to play this different format, which will have a lot of surprises for us. It's gonna limit our ability to pick our biggest, baddest models. We'll only be able to bring a few models with us. Something. Somebody gave me a like. Isaac, thank you very much for the like, brother. Oh yeah, Mr. Krabs. And that speed painting set I'm supposed to pick up, they're supposed to have a paint called Apothecary White that I really need to look into. Supposed to make painting white super easy. And I am all for that because painting white is a pain. I had to do it for Kingpin. Kingpin was one of the other models that I was afraid to paint because painting white just is a pain. I'm gonna change this up real quick. Okay. She's got like a bustier. Get that bustier. We're gonna paint all the hard lined portions of her. So her back is one flat piece, an easy paint. Her pants and gloves are one flat piece, so they're easy paints. The front of her bustier has like lace up the front, or laces up the front. We gotta watch out for that. There we go. And all the places that we needed to go, and then her cape. Her beautiful long flowing cape. Which again, I know I've said it several times, I absolutely love these Pro Acryl paints because they cover so well. The pigmentation are fantastic. It's totally covering over that black. I'm painting white and blue over the black, and it is just one coat. Phenomenal. Painting the underside of her cape. I should probably go with something a little bit darker from here. But I'll probably just not dry brush the underside of the cape. This is actually a really good paint color, so I might pick up the other model and paint her a bit. At least paint her leathers. These capes are so hard to put on because they have two very small points of contact. Like they're itty bitty. Alright, now I'm gonna drag the paint. Here it looks smooth. Swirl the paint. And then she has a gold X-Men symbol on her costume. I'll paint that gold later. Bloop. Yeah, I like it. Paint her up close. Gotta paint her fleshy bits. Tell me, how high do those gloves come up? Almost all the way up the arm. Watch that. And all I'm literally going to do with her after this is dry brush that titanium white over her, and she will be good to go. And this version of her has blonde hair. So I'm going to do that blonde hair trick. I'm going to paint her hair golden brown, flesh wash, and then I will dry brush with a yellow to give it like a real pretty pop. Blonde. I know a place. Right, and she is. Piece of her cake back here. She is Dunzo. Yep. Got a little piece of her cake, but there's actually a big piece of her cake that I gotta catch. All black in there. There we go. Alright. We're going to take her off for now. Work on the other one. Because it is only 10 o'clock. So I got time. I'm an adult. I'm an adult who can adult and do adulty things. Okay. Right. This is good. He looks awesome. Voodoo Reaper. My thoughts on speed paints are they are fantastic for specific jobs. And there are some things that speed paints just can't do. I'm actually going to invest into some speed paints. I am going to invest in some speed paints in the next week or two because I've taken on a commission job that's going to see me do a little over 300 models. And a lot of those models are the exact same sculpt. And a lot of those models can just be painted 3 to 4 colors and they're done. So I think that speed paints are great for that kind of thing, which is why they're made by a company called Army Painter. Because they're made to paint a lot of minis really fast. And I also think that you can get really good results when painting with them correctly. I will be using the slap chop method for these things where you prime them black, dry brush them a light, warm gray, and then speed painting over them, using the speed paints over them to achieve the different variances in colors. I think they're a fantastic tool. I don't think that they're right for every single job. Do I wish I had some right now? Absolutely. I actually painted a model a few months ago only using speed paints, and it came out fantastic. My Great Jiragus from the Monster Hunter World board game, I speed painted that, and it's on my YouTube channel right now. It's way back a few months ago, almost a year ago actually. I say a few months ago, and I thought it was great. Okay, so that's it too. You can't just speed paint over certain things. If you're going to use the speed paint, you either have to prime it all white and then use the speed paint on it for it to achieve a good consistent color all the way across it, or you do the slap chop method, like I had just said before, where you take the model, right? Normally our models are gray. Bust it up gray. You take the model, prime it black, hit it with a very hard dry brush of a light neutral gray all over, right? Because when you zenithal highlight, you're not going to get the underside. And when you don't get the underside, you're going to miss, you're going to get those color variation. You're going to get inconsistent color across the entire model. Whereas with dry brushing like this, you add the speed paint to it, and you've already done all the pre-highlighting, right? Because that's what all the speed paint does, is it allows the color to fall into the crevices. It's a highlight, contrast, and wash all in one. By doing the slap chop beforehand, you're going to get those greater variations in a more consistent pattern. Yeah, that's what I think. Do I still like to sit down and not do slap chop, not do speed paints? Yes. I very much find painting to be my zen moment. But yeah, for the slap chop, definitely don't use a Zenthal highlight. Do the whole dry brush beforehand. It comes out phenomenal. I really do like the larger model that I did, and it's a little bit harder to do it with these smaller models, detail wise and everything, with the dry brushing and getting in there, depending on what model you're using. Right, because my Great Jiragas is, 8 times the size of this model. So it's got a lot more details, a lot more space to catch those colors. Oh yeah. Well, that's what this channel's for, that's just my 2 cents from what I've learned from doing research and actually applying it to my painting. I like it. I think the speed paints are great. I am going to be, once I get paid for my first commission, well, it's not my first commission, but for this most recent commission, I'll be picking up a very large amount of speed paints to speed paint with, so that I can continue doing the larger commissions quickly. Jason, Melissa, thank you very much for watching. I greatly appreciate it. If you can give me a like, a share, or a follow, that would be great too. Everything helps for my traffic. Painting the models. The girls are safely in bed, if you're wondering. Shush, shush. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to paint her skin blue. And this is why. This is normal. This is her diamond form. I'm going to paint her skin a true blue. Actually, you know what? I'm going to do a sky blue. And then if I dry brush white over that, it'll give her the diamond form that I'm wanting. Let's pop a little bit of sky blue in there. And I used this just the other day. Again, if the music stops, somebody just let me know. Can't stop the beat. Right, so 1, 2, that's enough. Again, another reason I love these Pro Acryl paints from Onion Hobbies is that they're in dropper form, so I can get just the right amount that I want. That's exactly what I want. Because when I dry brush over that, I'm gonna hit those hard spots on her, those hard lines. It's gonna look fantastic. And so for this diamond form, everywhere where she would have flesh is where I paint this lighter blue. Which isn't a lot of spaces. But there's enough. Get behind her back. Careful. There we go. Get in and around her arm. Alright, I just gotta get her neck, face, and hair. So this particular model I goofed up on. It was the night of my 24-hour charity stream. And I was doing the dry brush technique on her, prepping her for speed painting, her slap chop, and I don't know what happened, but her head just rolled, took off, gone. And I was like, no! Emma Frost, stop! And if I don't like the way this looks, I'm going to be getting that Apothecary White speed paint. And that should take care of getting her to where I wanted her to be. That'll just wash out, recolorize all of this painting that I'm doing right now, and fix any blunders. I'm blue by da boo dee da boo da da boo dee da boo. Every stream I get this little warning that says part of your stream has been muted because you could be using that's not legal to use, and it's probably because I sing so many goofy songs on this stream. Alright. One thing that I did miss painting. Whoop. Her arm. What's that? Come on, James Chumley, you know I'm streaming. Yeah, before I started the slap chop method, I had done a little bit of research on the different speed paints, the difference between contrast paint, army painters, regular speed paint, so their speed paint 2.0, because they worked on their speed paint formula. Like, they didn't just crank it out to have it out, because GW's had their contrast paints out on the market for years. After some feedback, Army Painter changed a lot of their stuff, had better coverage. Okay. Now she's extra blue. And now we are going to dry brush white. So I take my dry brush. And this is a good brush. Normally my other brushes are just trash. From Walmart. Oh yeah, she came with this custom base too, Voodoo. Voodoo's over on Twitch for anybody that's wondering who I'm talking to. Because I am on Facebook, Twitch, and YouTube. Go team. Go multi-stream. There it is. Titanium white. Yeah, she came with this custom base thing, which is the Hellfire Club Inner Circle cracked logo. Because this particular one is supposed to be the leader of the Hellfire Club, or the headmistress of Xavier School for Gifted Youngsters. Shake, shake, shake. Well, showing a lot more than I thought it was. Oop. Let's go like that. Please don't fall. Please don't go. Alright, so that should be enough. It's a good liberal dry brush of white. I feel like I'm going to do a lot of this. But I don't use this titanium white very often, so that's okay. Again, for dry brushing, always dry brush, always wipe the paint on a non-porous surface so that it does not take away any of the moisture. Just taking away the paint. We want the moisture, we don't want the paint. Alright, so whoop. Sorry, Emma Frost. Here you go, Emma Frost. So this should be twofold. We'll be getting the white that we want for Emma Frost is here. Yep. Oh yeah, that's doing exactly what I wanted to do. And then we'll be dry brushing against her body so that it looks like a diamond form. Probably should have went with a little bit of a lighter blue. What did I use? I used the sky blue instead of the dark blue. So this will be fine. Yep, and I'm getting back all those details that I got when I painted over with the mixture blue that I did. 2 parts ivory, 1 part ultramarine faded blue. Woo. Yeah, shoulda, coulda, woulda on a lot of the pieces I'm fighting with right now. And that's okay, right? Like, she's a beautiful model. She still looks really good. I believe that had I have gone with a darker blue for her flesh here, that it would have came out more like ice. And so that'll be this technique will be perfect with Iceman that just dropped with Kitty Pryde. But yeah, there's a lot of things that I think they could have done a little bit differently, like the terrain that Dormammu came with. That would have been cool, translucent. Please don't pop her head off again. Take it easy, Ramirez. Knocked her foot off. Okay, that's fine. Again, she is a very frail piece. It's very rough dry brushing. Yeah. The flames definitely could have been like a yellow or deep red, translucent. Oh, there it goes. That's alright. I'll just attach it later, because the reason that I normally don't paint all the pieces before I assemble is because I'm afraid of the fog that the super glue will leave. If it leaves fog on her, that's not that big of a deal. Glue her back again. Exact same thing happened on the 24-hour stream over Black Friday. He is such a small, finicky model. A little bit. There we go. No super glue on that piece. This super glue. Nope. Anywhere but the carpet, please. Up a loop. I think I might just have to soften this till later. Or apply more glue. Applying more glue will work. There we go. Get any on her face. All right. You know what? I'm gonna fix this. I still need to dry brush parts of her. Her face and head are fantastic, so we're gonna leave that alone. This needs to be. And again, we're not gonna dry brush the bottom of her cape. Gluing is the non-zen part for you. Assembly is good for me too. I don't like to do it too often, but if it's a model that I'm really excited about, like I'm really excited about Nightcrawler. I believe he has multiple sculpt options too, so. Cool. Yeah. Everything else is exactly what I wanted. Except for her head popping off again. But it is what it is. Things do happen. I'll just have to glue the head on before I take a picture and send it to the league. Captain Marvel's arms. Her cloak is the two smallest points I've ever seen. Contact points. So put it on the base. That's why we have it. Boop. Link. Paint. Fast and dirty. We're going to come back through with the flesh for her. Oh, there it goes. So the cape on this one kept popping off, and now I have to remember to be a little bit more gentle. See ya. Hey, Bowhunter VP. Voodoo, have a good one. Thanks for watching. What's going on, Bowhunter VP? Okay. Hey, cool. I'm painting models for Marvel Crisis Protocol. Comes in a board game box. I think it's a really good mix of board game / war game, so highly recommend it. It's a great game to get people into war games that have never played war games before, because the rules are very simple. The core boxes come with tons of terrain. Great. Thanks for stopping by and watching. I greatly appreciate it. If you like me here, you'll also like me on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram and TikTok. Oh, cool. Yeah, I play a lot of board games on the stream. I'm really into Tiny Epic board games. They're made by Gamelin Games, small boxes, but they play like really, really big, good games. Just great ideas and small packages if you want to check them out. My favorite one is Tiny Epic Dinosaur. It's a worker placement game. I know you say you're new to board games, but basically you're trying to create Jurassic Park. So you have to herd all of your dinosaurs into the right places and make sure that the dinosaurs don't eat each other, and you have plenty of food, water, and other things. There's also Tiny Epic Dungeons. Gamelin Games, Gamylen, Gamelin games. But look up Tiny Epic Dinosaur, Tiny Epic Dungeons, Tiny Epic Galaxies. They just have a bunch of different games. Tiny Epic Western. They really, really jumped on that Tiny Epic line and just kept running with it. Those are definitely my favorite ones to play with a large group of people, and a lot of them come with solo modes. So if you want to play, if you can only play with yourself, it's great. Gives you the option to do that, so that you're not just sitting there and doing nothing. Sometimes you want to sit there and do something. Ooh. But right now I'm just painting Emma Frost from Marvel Crisis Protocol. Really great war game slash board game made by Atomic Mass Games. They don't make a lot of other. Right now they're really focused on war games. They have this. They have Star Wars Shatterpoint. They're in charge of. I think her normal version is done. For the flesh and hair. But fix this. Her head busted off a few seconds ago, so now I gotta fix her. It happens when you're painting small miniatures. Just gotta go with it, work with it. Stuck to my finger. That's okay. She's done. She looks great. This is the Diamond Form Emma Frost. I know she kind of looks like Iceman, but it's pretty much the same effect. 3 kids and 4 nephews living with you. Fantastic. All those games are great for multiplayers. My favorite multiplayer game to play is Crossing, which is a lot of fun. So I get tired of fighting over this Xbox. Well, cool. Yeah. I mean, I have 2 little girls. I have a 5-year-old and a 3-year-old, and they love Dungeons and Dragons. If you've got that many people in the house, there's no reason for you not to try out a tabletop role-playing game. It's a wacky rabbit hole. I'm glad that you wound up here. I can't wait to hear where you go from here. Come back and let me know. Might want to see where you've been. Whoop. But if you've got that many people, um, my heart is full with 2 little ones. I wouldn't mind more. There's plenty of room in my heart. That's why I'm the big bad nerd dad. Both of my little girls love to play a game called Tiny Dungeon. Switch over. Tiny Dungeon is a role-playing game. It's made by Gallant Knight Games. The creator is a really good guy, loves kids too. And this is a full-on role-playing game. It's like Dungeons and Dragons, but a lot less rules. So it's easier for kids to pick up on, but it's also made so that you can role-play more instead of worrying about a ton of rules. My 5 and my 3-year-old can play it. I'm a commission storyteller, a fabulist for hire. So I run RPG games all over Houston, Texas, and people hire me to play that. Or hire me to run that. And I really like it. I think it's a fantastic system. Great for people to learn how to play. Great to just sit down and hammer out a game. and the rule system itself can be used not just for fantasy. You can do sci-fi, you can do modern city stuff, you can do spec ops, you can do spies, western. You can just go a lot of directions. All right, I've got to get into some tiny points painting her now. So I'm going to switch up my brushes and go from my normal round tip to a fine grade 0. Take it back. Double cam. Bloop. All right. Grade 0. Games and gears. It's a side hustle. I wish it was my full-time job running games around the city. And one of these days it may be. But for right now, I am a lab technician for a refrigerant reclamation company. It's a very good job. Great benefits. Pays the bills. And it allows me to do things like this where I can stream my nights away, play games with my girls on the weekend, and just have fun. Yeah, it's a great side hustle. I love it. I work a lot with kids. I have two of my three groups are I have a middle school group and a high school group where their parents hire me because tabletop role playing games help with social interactions, problem solving skills, basic math, things like that. So it's an easy sell for parents to be like, you know what, this might be cool. And then I get to help introduce the new generation of tabletop gamers, tabletop role playing gamers, all the kind of stuff. Yeah, yeah, it can be a little rough, but the idea for you bringing all those funny boxes in is that you want to bring the family together, which is exactly what I'm about. I think that tabletop board games of any nature uh, are what we need to really bring ourselves back to a center. Uh, we've lost our sense of fellowship amongst each other, right? And people want to go out to the bars, people want to go trolling on the internet. You know, we're so glued to our phones and our equipment that we forget that there's people right next to us, that there are loved ones that want to do things with us. And that's how we used to do it back in the day. You know, I remember sitting down with my family playing Monopoly, or we used to love Clue, right? We sit down and play Clue, and families just don't do that anymore. I mean, I'm very grateful that I've been into tabletop gaming for years and years and years. I've been playing Dungeons and Dragons for 27 years now, and I'm so thankful that my girls like it at such a young age. I hope they continue to like it as they grow up, and I hope we continue to play games for as long as possible. Yeah. And we've really lost that. We've lost that connection of sitting down and having fellowship. People want to think that fellowship is solely a Christian concept, but it's good to just sit down and be with the people you love and talk with them and understand and feel how what they're going through, because you can do that with board games. You can't do that with a video game. I mean, there's a sense of connection with video games, but it's different when you're sitting down across from somebody, having fun, making faces, placing side bets. Like, it's just a completely different time. Well, Hunter, what were some of your favorite games growing up? Right, like Clue. My family loved to play Clue, and we played Monopoly a lot, almost too much. Again, all of these tabletop, anything that brings you around the table and helps you interact socially with others is going to give you an edge. Is gonna make you a person that's able to communicate your feelings, to uh, elaborate on the things that are going on that you don't like or understand. I've already had my 5-year-old's teacher tell me several times that my daughter is very good at communicating her likes and dislikes with other members of the classroom, which for a 5-year-old can sometimes be a little difficult because they're still trying to get a grip on their own emotions. Go. That normal form Emma Frost is really coming together. So I didn't learn about Skippo until I was much older, but I come from a Hispanic household. So we had different board games and card games and things like that. Not that it's Skippo and Phase 10 are cultural, but it's not something that I had come into contact with. Yep. 100% agree with you, Bow Hunter VP. So I'm in form, regular form. We're going to paint her hair a bright yellow. We're going to paint her hair this golden brown. And then, yeah. Danny Dean, what's going on, brother? Thank you for watching the stream, Danny Dean. Remember, if you're watching via Facebook, Twitch, YouTube, Instagram, or TikTok, please give me a like, follow, share, tell your friends. I'll be here. Danny Dean, if you're watching. Danny Dean's over on Facebook, Bow Hunter. I got Blob done. I've got Diamond form Emma done. I'm finishing up normal form Emma. A little over an hour left in the day. What we got? Bow Hunter on Twitch says there were so many games, I probably couldn't name them all. We like the dice games, Yahtzee and Farkle. Farkle's fun. I remember Farkle. We haven't played Farkle. Farkle's fun. Oh, if you like the dice games, there's a really fun game called Dice Throne, where you take on. It's like Yahtzee, except that your straights and your combos and the other things that you put together give you like superpowers. So you're battling another person with your Yahtzee dice, trying to hit the ultimate combo or trying to hit a couple of good combos in a row, a couple of straights in a row. A lot of fun. It's in its second edition, and they have Marvel dice thrown out right now. Really cool. Yeah, yeah. Dice Throne is a really good game. I don't know who makes it. I don't have the full set of games because they come in like little blocks. No, it's called Dice, Dice Throne. You know what? Hold on one second. So reattach my microphone. Sorry for the buzz. Okay. All right. So the game is called Dice Throne. And they come in these little, you can get the big box set which has everything in it. I enjoyed playing it a little bit, so I was able to find one of the versus sets. So this one has the Cursed Pirate and the Artificer, and there's a bunch of different ones inside of the big set. There's a treant, and there's a warrior, and there's a monk. They just released the Marvel versions of it too, so there's like Black Panther, Spider-Man, Doctor Strange, and I think there's a Kickstarter going on for the X-Men version, and X-Men Dice Throne too. The game's a lot of fun. It's great. There's different ways to play it. It's normally played 1v1, one person versus the other, but you can also play it in a multiplayer format. And then they have a board game set where you're working with 2 to 5 other people to try and get through a dungeon. Hey, no problem at all. That's what I'm here for. That's what the Big Bad Nerd Dad is here for. I'm here to show people all the cool games that are out there, how to have, if you have questions about anything, I want to help answer them. I want you to get more into board gaming, tabletop gaming. I want to get you more into tabletop gaming because that's what I'm about. Tabletop gaming legitimately saved my life, and I absolutely love the fellowship that it's bringing to both my family and my friend circle. No problem at all. Nope. Okay, back to it. Painted all the underside. Again, Bow Hunter, if you like me here, check me out on Facebook. Oh my! Like I have a palette for the big stuff, but sometimes I just need to take a little bit away. All right, we're going to dry brush the yellow. A little drop. That's her hair. Boop. Dry brush back out. Whoop. Yeah. Ah, thanks. Greatly appreciate it. Yeah, I'm actually restructuring my stream, so I don't normally stream on Sunday nights. So I'm really glad that I streamed tonight so that you could watch me. Obviously, I was supposed to stream tonight. Normally I stream Monday nights. Tomorrow night I'll be painting some more miniatures. Tuesday night I'm going to do a review of not a review. I'm going to do an unboxing of the Army Painter starter set that I got for Christmas. Really like the way that came out. And then Thursday nights I'll be doing tabletop gaming stuff. So tonight I actually did a quick took some of my tokens from Marvel Champions. That's another card game that I'm currently playing. Really, really into. And I took the tokens from there and I'm making them better. Making them so that it's nice. Yeah, amen. Thank you, Bowhunter VP. Thank you, Bowhunter VP. Amen. God is in control. Oh, no coincidence. But a little bit of the flesh wash here for her flesh. Flesh wash, Billy. Dun, 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 dun. What I like about washes is that you can put them over like the face. Put the washes over the face and it makes all of the details pop without you having to go back and touch any of it. And you know, you say that you have the dexterity of a brick, and so do I. I'm 5'10", 312 pounds. I don't run fast. I've got these big meat hook hands. And I've just been painting and trying and learning for so long that I've figured out techniques to help me make me a better painter. And I talk about my techniques all the time, so if you keep tuning in, you too can learn to paint like a big, meaty lummox like myself. Because if I can do it, anybody can do it. It just takes time and practice. Right, I need to put this up before I ruin it. This is my good brush. Bloop. Okay, okay, okay. I feel like the models are finished. The exception of this titanium white. Go a little bit further. A little bit darker. I don't know why it didn't come out. Boop. What we got? Thank you very much. Again, all this is practice, painting, researching. Like you said, doing your research is key so that you can improve your talents. I'm 38 years old, and I think that it's important to learn something new all the time. Old dogs can learn new tricks. In fact, it's good for them. There we go. All right, the next part is going to be fun and a pain. I'm going to do is dry brush Take all the moisture out of the brush. I'm going to dry brush the base a little bit. Get some color onto it. We're going to do some more dry brushing with metallics. Finish up these models. Because the model is not finished until the base is finished. Beep, boop, boop, beep. But yes, highly recommend Dice Throne. I'm trying to think of some other games that would be fun. All of the tiny epic games are fun. I'm currently playing Marvel Champions. I am currently playing Marvel Champions, and I am restructuring all the stuff that I have for it. Main screen. Oh, so like it's the base game. Bloop. Marvel Champions. If you like Marvel characters, the base comes with Spider-Man, Iron Man, Black Panther, She-Hulk, and Captain Marvel. And then you can buy extra characters like Incredible Hulk, Ant-Man. You can just get your favorite characters. And you just play different scenarios, like you can play against Mojo, Rhino's in the main game, Ultron's in the main game. And that's what I've been doing. Every Wednesday night I have a fellowship night, a guys night, not on stream, off site, having fun, playing games. We've played Marvel Champions for the past 3 or 4 months, consistently on Wednesday nights. And everybody's enjoyed it. Great game. There they are. Full black. Metallics. Oh no. Alright, silver. We're gonna need silver, we're gonna need dark silver, and for the first time ever, I'm going to want copper. Bronze. Bronze will do. Doop. For the bases. And you didn't see any of that, so back to it. Silver. Dark silver. Yes. I am Houston, Texas. Born and raised. On the playground is where I spent most of my days. Oh, it looks like my stream music has stopped. Hold on one second. Nope. Play. There we go. I don't know how long that's been off. Yep. But I have music to go in the background because sometimes I lose track and just paint. Pennsylvania. Whoa! Nice to meet you. I've got family out in Virginia, North Carolina. They used to live in Maine. That's up there, I know. It's not Pennsylvania, but... What's the weather like up there right now? Is it snowing real bad? Texas doesn't get anything. Our cold weather is 50 to 60 degrees. Like, if it's 50 degrees out here, I'm wearing 3 hoodies. So we're going to double up. Nope. Don't want that one. I want dark silver. Oh. Well, that's good, because I know that they used to be terrifying. I lived in Canada for 3 months, and I hated it. Nope, never again. December, January, February. Never again. back in '08. So it's been a while. That's good. That's good enough. To take our regular brush. I'm just going to slather this paint on the seal. Well, that's good. Inclement weather can be real scary. For the first time ever, Texas had its first like real snowstorm where things froze and it snowed and we actually couldn't drive. Normally I make fun of everybody for not being able to drive during just rainy season, but it was dangerous. I remember legitimately being scared to go out. So I don't relish any of that. I don't wish it on anybody else, although sometimes I do wish we could have more snow days here. Inclement weather days would be nice. It's hard to see on camera, but I'm painting her base. How is it? 11:03. I'm going to finish both of these models just like I thought I would. And then I'm going to bed. It's got to be real late up there for you, right? It's like midnight? Past midnight for you? Bloop, bloop. Time zones are my enemy. I can't fathom them. I know they're there. Lord. Paint that model on the camera, on the stream. On the stream. Paint it on the stream. Paint that model on the stream, on the stream. Thank you very much, Bow Hunter. It was good to connect with you too. Like you said, God's will. I hope to see you again soon. Get some good rest. Peace be with you. All right, that looks good. All right. Dry brush. Now we are going to dry brush the bronze. I'm going to take just a little bit of bronze. right here, right now. This at the top. This here. Yeah. All right. We go. Do 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 do. There, kick me 'cause I'm not supposed to use this song. Do 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 do. Where my purple go? There it is, purple. Oops. Wasteful. Talk about it. Do 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 do. The cool thing about Emma Frost is that she's a leader as well. So if I bring Emma Frost, Mystique, and Magneto on my loadout, my team, I could also have 3 different teams to choose from. That would keep my opponent guessing. And then, depending on which strategy I need, I can further have options for my leadership. Which is good. You never know what's going to pop up. All right. And that is going to be it for tonight's stream. I say that as I look at this. Now, that'll be it for tonight's stream. I painted 3 models, the Blob, and my 2 different versions of Emma Frost. Whew, I had a good time. Got to talk to some nice people. I actually streamed for 3 hours. I can't believe I did that. So I'm very, very grateful for streaming on my off night. Normally I'll be here Monday nights. Got to meet some cool new folks, Reaper and Bowhunter. So I can't wait to get back into it tomorrow night to finish up the rest of my Brotherhood of Mutants. We've got, what else do we have left? Scarlet Witch, Sabretooth, Quicksilver, and Mystique. So we will be painting them tomorrow night. Oop, there they are. 4 left. Painting them tomorrow night. I gotta take a quick picture tonight before I go to bed so I can post these to my Facebook group to get the points that I've earned for painting these models. And it was a lot of fun. Painting the Blob was easier than I thought. I really liked the look that I achieved by basing Emma Frost in a blue first and then dry brushing white over her. So I think all in all it was a good night. Made some good friends, talked about board games and my love for it, which is what I'm here for. I'll be back tomorrow night painting, and then hopefully I'll be back Tuesday and Thursday night. Brian, thank you so much for giving me a like. Don't think that I'm leaving just yet without saying thank you. But I had a great time. I hope you did as well. Don't forget to eat your vitamins, have healthy meals, eat your greens, and have a great year. All right. I love you very much. Balls ahead, rubble behind.